Here we go. Welcome back to My Hero Academia Anime Review episode 226. We are here discussing the second episode of My Hero Academia Vigilantes Takeoff, which covers the rest of chapter 2, pages 11 to 45, along with the third chapter. We begin left off last episode. Racerhead shows up and basically tries to stop Knuckle Duster. And by the way, the toy guy for the last episode, yeah, it turns out basically he actually is a user trigger. Yeah, because basically while Knuckle Duster taking on Racerhead, well, Crawler and Pop and Drop proceed to follow him, and then after he trips, by the way, also those three thugs from the previous episode, yeah, they're on trigger too, and they become souped up. Very powerful. Basically, one looks like he's like a recolor version of Red Riot. All the spike stuff, and then the other two, like one flies. They turn basically different colors. Then basically Papa basically is fallen, and apparently the guy takes the All Might action figure and then pokes it in his neck. Why the heck would we do that for? Well, because that apparently is a believe it or not, he keeps the trigger drug inside the figure. I guess for some people, it's like, wow, what a really good hiding place. A freaking action figure. And he goes, giant-sized Crawler deals with the other two guys looking off basically Racerhead after sorting out the whole thing with Knuckle Duster. He's able to stop the other three villains, and of course, also Crawler proceed to save Pop and Drop from falling, which is good for him doing that. And then, of course, he's finally stopped thanks to Racerhead, and he's basically bandaged up. And of course, also, then right after this, of course, I was hauled away, and of course, take a picture of him. Well, actually, that happens later. And then the very next day, Pop and Job was on top of a building sign, maybe doing one of her concerts because apparently she likes being up there. And she's two middle schoolers who have quirks about to fight each other in an alley, and then Crawler gets there, doesn't stop, and like, oh, you're a nice guy. And of course, it's in a flashback that Knuckle Duster, of course, they cut this out here in the anime, where if he goes too fast, because he only goes fast as a bike, if he goes too fast, he hurts himself. So Knuckle Duster proceeds to somehow get him biker gear. Yes, gloves, body armor. Very smart idea to do. After all, he is kind of running along the road. And of course, he's able to stop the guys. And then we have a big brawler, a guy who's like an instant villain pops up, who Knuckle Duster ends up finding him and Crawler. And of course, we have this really cool scene here where this baby is falling out of this carriage. Basically the stroller, and Crawler just nick of time saves the baby. And good on him for doing that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with basically, yeah, he may not be a licensed hero, but there's nothing stopping him using his quirk to save a baby. There's nothing that says they can't do that. I mean, technically it's not against the law to save a baby. To save lives, per se. And of course, Crawler does this thing with hitting in the back, and Knuckle Duster hits in the front, and then eventually he stopped and turns back to normal. And of course, but basically, yeah, he's basically taking a trigger, and then he's taken over the cops, and of course, spread the word about them. Of course, basically, and of course, then we see a character voiced by Alejandro Saab. Yes, which he did confirm this in the line. This actually is him. Yes, this detective. Akira Akawa, I think that's his name. No, I was the guy who got beat up. Let's see, what was this guy? Nope. Well, they did bring in Sasa Tagawa, who actually did not debut in the Vigilantes. He did make his debut in My Hero first. Then he popped up in this series. Same guy voices him here. Here he is. Namosa Tokushi. Yeah, he's here too. And this is the guy voiced by Alejandro Saab, basically making his return to My Hero Academia. This, of course, is before the end of, like, before the final season comes up, which, good on, basically, because he's voiced with this guy, and good on Crunchyroll for bringing Alejandro Saab back to voice this detective once again. Though, at least, here's the thing. In My Hero, he's basically, you see him in the series, he's no wearing rag gear. In this one, he's basically wearing a detective's outfit. You're like, okay, interesting. Great to see the guy again. This episode was his debut. In season 1 of My Hero Academia, he debuted in the 13th episode of the main anime, which was, I believe, the final episode of season 1. That was pretty much in the way his debut in that one. Here, it's like, we're not waiting very long. Let's show the guy off. I mean, he is technically part of the series. So, now you probably would have thought, oh, maybe Crunchyroll would have recast him. No, Crunchyroll only does it if basically there's an actual reason for recasting. Like, this, as far as I can tell, Alejandro Saab basically has no reason to be recast as his character. So, good on them for basically keeping him in. And, of course, basically, like, he has something against Vigilantes because they're not licensed, they might be dangerous. And at this, like, oh, we got word online. When they refer to Knuckleduster as a grandpa, and they refer to Crawler as Crawler. Yep, because of the mispronunciation of the name. And that's the episode. Gotta admit, still fun episode. I absolutely loved it. Now, aside from Eraserhead and the detective from the main series, everyone else is mostly put original characters for this. Also, like the cat partner of his, yeah, he's from My Heroes. He's from the main series as well. Yeah. And grant him for doing that. Yep. But yeah, that is pretty much it for particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, basically, we have... I'm going to go briefly to this very next one, because I don't think it'll take very long to discuss this one. I'm going to discuss a ReZero light novel. Which one? You'll find out and see. Bye.